We're on? Okay.
Are we on? Hello, hello, is this thing on? Hello? Are we good to go?
We
Guess
are good
so.
whenever you guys are.
Okay, great. Hello, folks, and welcome. We're going to be speedrunning The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D, all dungeons on Master Quest with TheWayfaringFox. Before we hop into that, though, there was one donation I would very much like to read out loud. This one is from Ian Keith. He donated $63, and his comment was, here is $10 for the first skip on third try, $20 for the second try, second skip, and another $1 for every second. I just PB'd by. By the way, put all of this to getting Trixie her name in. And thank you all so much. Once again, this is for the FF4 Free Enterprise Name a Character Incentive War. So thank you very much, Ian Keith, for doing that. We all appreciate it very much. And now here we go. Take it away, Wayfaring Fox. You're on, buddy.
Alright. So, I believe we had a file name.
Yes, thanks to Oasis, who gave us the file name of Booper.
Alright, okay. Alright, I guess we'll get started on the count of 3.
2,
Alright.
1. Let's do it.
Go. Now, I didn't actually start. Let's start again. Okay,
Okay,
so I'll count down. So,
Go for it.
3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so this is The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D Master Quest. So, if anybody is unfamiliar with what Master Quest is, it originally showed up as an addition to the GameCube version of Ocarina of Time, where you put where the dungeons got changed around. The dungeons are completely different from what they were before. And on Ocarina of Time 3D, that it's in the game, and so I'll be playing this. And they added 2 things to it. First off, if you can't tell, the game's mirrored. And secondly, I'll be taking double damage. And so a lot of things will be able to just kill me in one hit. So so I have to be careful. So first things first. If you mash the B button, you're able to more often not get text to scroll by really fast, like this. There's a small frame window, I think it's just 1 frame, where the text will instantly pop up if you're hitting the B button on that frame. And that's kind of tricky to get the hang of when you're starting runs of this game.
So here's a question for you. What is your personal best time? Do you remember?
My personal best is a 137.59.
You think you're gonna beat that today?
It means I'd have to play well.
I think you can do it. Just get into a good rhythm, get on fire, and you can knock this baby out of the park.
But with all dungeons, the rules are to beat the main 8 dungeons in the game, which are the child dungeons and then the adult temples. And after that, you don't have to beat Ganon. It's not required. You can just beat the game afterward.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So this version really isn't so much about the overall story of the game. It really is about, here are these dungeons, go nuts.
Yeah, at least that's what the category is.
Fair enough. That works for me.
Alright, so right here, I'm just gonna change my control preferences. Here, we've got this movement called backwalking. It moves as fast as you roll, So for longer distances, you want to use it. And right here, I'm just going to be doing a route to get the Kokiri sword and the Kokiri shield because we actually want to go in the Deku tree. I'm going to have to wait here. So that movement was pretty slow. If you don't go fast, that boulder is gonna hit you there. So I'm just gonna wait for it. Okay. And from here, we're just gonna be collecting rupees until getting to the Kokiri shop.
Looks like we got an anonymous donation a couple minutes ago for 25 US dollars. Thank you, Anonymous. I wish I knew who you were so I could give you a proper name shout out, but still, thank you so much. We all really appreciate it. And we also got one from Savage Wizrobe, who comments, for all the blue rupees I found in OOT Randomizer, this one I'm giving for the kids. I can't stay for the whole thing, so best of luck, Fox, on your run. MQ Party. Thank you,
All right,
Savage Wizrobe.
Yeah, thank you, Savage Wizrobe. Alright, so now that that's over, we're gonna talk. Mido requires us having both the sword and the shield here. So, right here, I'm gonna be collecting Deku sticks. This run uses a lot of Deku sticks and is primarily for an unintended purpose. And you'll be able to see in a couple minutes.
Okay, I can't wait. And really quick, folks, I'm going to remind everybody why we're all here. So this is the Fastest Furs for Life 2019. We're benefiting the Children's Miracle Network hospitals through Extra Life. 100% of the funds we collect today go through Extra Life directly, and they benefit one of the 170 Children's Miracle Network hospitals across the United States and Canada. Donations are used for the most immediate needs facing kids, like everything from patient programs, new equipment, charitable care, all that stuff. So to make a donation or learn more about how you can help, click on the donate button in the stream window right below it, or just type !donate in the chat.
So here we're climbing to the top of the Deku tree. You're obviously noticing there's a bunch of different stuff. That box there has a gold skulltula in it, by the way.
Oh. So this is going to be interesting because I played the original Ocarina of Time pretty much ad infinitum as a kiddo, so I'm going to be constantly going like half nostalgia, half being like, wait, that's different from the original.
So this room you have to defeat all the enemies. Alright. The Deku Nuts take short work of the Goma larvas while they're in the eggs. And this chest pops up, and it's a really important chest because it contains the slingshot. And that's the reason why we came in here. So now we're gonna do this trick, so I'm gonna need some time to focus. I'll light that. You can light that web because that torch is there. Alright, good. So, that jump slash there, you can jump slash the back of a wall with a Deku stick, and you'll recoil off of it, and that's how I was able to get to that other web, and I want to burn that web so I can come back later. And that jump slash is why we're collecting all these sticks. Because it's pretty useful in this category. And now we're gonna leave, but this guy's in our way, so we have a way of going right through him. Alright, that trick right there that I just did was a triple slash clip, and by angling yourself at the right angle, you can pull an item or press A to put away the sword after doing a triple horizontal slash, and that gives you like this boost back, and that's allowed us to escape the forest.
By the way, folks, if you have any questions for Fox during his run, feel free to ask in the chat, and I will relay any and all questions directly to him.
So normally you want to go right to Zelda in a speed run, like if you were like just to go on the natural progression of everything. But we're not gonna do that. We got a bit of a detour. So here we got the famous L, Gipora Gibora. I'm just gonna talk to him here, just so he goes away. You can get around him, but you'd have to do it like more than once, and so it's not worth it. I think you'd have to get past him 3 times. So here I'm gonna be setting up a trick. Alright, so this is what's known as a fess. There's a small position on your control stick, or in this case the circle pad, where you just do a shuffle movement. And when you're in that movement, you can just hold any speed that you want, and holding damage speed allows this.
Oh man, that looks hilarious.
So we're in the Lake Hylia.
Yeah, seriously, I feel like there should have been Michael Jackson music playing in the background of that movement.
Oh, I have the chat open. I'm hearing people talking about the frame rate. Yeah, this game's in 30 frames per second, whereas the original game is 20 frames. So it's quite different to see this game like this if you haven't seen it before. I was just
Does the frame rate allow for more exploits, or is it inconsequential?
that trick that I just did. Oh, that trick right there is called a Navi dive, and that allowed me to enter Zora's domain because when you're talking to Navi, you can go right through water.
Oh.
It's based off the triple slash that I just did earlier.
Mm-hmm.
We got another triple slash clip coming up right here. Alright. So that clip just out of bounds, and there's water, and we can just travel right past King Zora.
Huh. At some point, are we going to go back and do the Goron dungeon, or?
Yes, we are. Just not yet.
Right. It's just so bizarre
So
to see everything out of order.
yeah. So yeah, we're heading to Jabu here, and that jump slash recoil allowed me just to get inside of it and enter the dungeon. So here in Jabu, there are these cow switches. You have to have the slingshot to actually activate them. There's no way around it. That's why I went and grabbed the slingshot. So down here, you can just jump down, and there's a switch at the bottom. And that opens the door to the next area. I'm gonna grab those sticky nuts, and then this is what's known as a save warp. You just save and quit out of the game, and then you reload, and then you'll be at the start of the dungeon.
Also, Oasis, I'm pretty sure "Shut Up, Navi" is at least the top 5 most common utterances by gamers in history.
So here's everybody's favorite companion, Rudo. In the normal game, you take her on an adventure. You don't do that in Master Quest. Just how the dungeon's made. Alright, so here's this important cow switch right there that leaves that chest. And I'm gonna do a trick here to throw Rudo on this switch right here. Alright, good. That opens that door, and I need to go through that door in a moment. But this chest contains the all-powerful bomb shoes. So now we have explosives because we came here early. So this is a combat-heavy room. Just gonna focus so I don't do anything silly. Okay. Alright, he was nice. He gave me a red rupee. I normally want that like light to give a red rupee. It's the best thing you can get. He can give 3 blue rupees, 1 red rupee, or 3 red rupees. But at least 1 red rupee is good enough. But right here, this chest contains the boomerang. And I'm just gonna save and quit out, and here we're right now. The safe. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go right and beat the dungeon through a trick, what is known as big auto skip. There are 2 parts to it in Master Quest. So there's a tentacle in this room. Opening that door, and then you can get interrupted. Opening that door deloads that tentacle. And I'm gonna focus here. Alright, that trick was known as a mega flip. That allowed me to cross the gap. So here, there's this puzzle with these cows, with that cow switch. And doing that opens the door here to the boss. So the mega flip trick that I did, it allows you to backflip at 3 times backflip speed. And I needed to get pushed back a bit before doing it so I could make it across the gap. But the way I did it right then makes it really straightforward to do. Anyway, here's Baronade. This fight's got not much to say other than Deku not speed up the fight.
got another donation from Valvalis Skunk, and that was for $36 US. He says, "Good job, everyone, so far. Let's break 2K before the end of this run. Also, can't let Sonic win versus Deltarune for the Z Sprite and FF4FE. Good luck to everyone this weekend, and thank you, Valvalis Skunk. We all appreciate it."
All right, and very nice down. Alright, so each boss gives out a heart container. I'm not collecting heart container here because it would waste a bit of time to collect heart containers as child. So in this cutscene, I'm gonna try to mash to see if I can get something. That will speed up the cutscene considerably. Other than that, there's nothing to say. Alright, I got it. So if you get all of the quick text on the first before her message pops up, she'll start swimming before the text ends, which saves a bit of time. And once she starts swimming, she gives you the Zora Sapphire. And that's exclusive to Ocarina of Time 3D.
I was gonna say, I don't remember that item. What the heck does it do?
Alright, so that's the first dungeon down. You got a bit of a ways before doing the other dungeons. So did a save warp because now we're gonna go to Zelda. This part's a bit of a lull, but it's the most marathon safe thing I could do. So what I'll be doing is I'm just gonna escape the forest, and then I'll be heading over to the market. That roll is actually pretty tricky. You can read a donation if you want. It's just a backwalk to the market. I have to wait a full night cycle for Zelda.
Alright, we don't have any new donations at the moment, but just out of curiosity, have you been doing this particular speedrun for a long time? Did you discover these exploits yourself, or like how do these speedrun kind of things form? Does it form around a community of people all going, hey, I got this glitch, try this glitch, or does it just kind of come to you?
For this game, I discovered quite a few things. And it goes because I've been involved in this game for 7 years, actually. Only thing to note right now that I'm doing is that right here I'm going to be purchasing the Hylian Shield. I need it for when I'm Adult Link. But yeah, it comes from being in a small community where we're just our involvement's just finding glitches, or just for me, what I really do is I actually create the routes for all the categories in the game. So at least in this game. So I kind of know where most things are in this game.
Okay. Do you think there's still potentially room to discover more exploits in this game, or has it been pretty thoroughly mapped out at this point?
There's more to discover. There's still the holy grail regular Ocarina of Time 3D, which is getting the bomb shoes. I was gonna get caught if I kept that angle. But yeah, in Master Quest, there's not much that I can think of that could really improve it. I guess I just have to wait and see. There was quite a few recent discoveries that help make this run how it is now. But if I may, I'm gonna ask for focus time here.
Sure.
All right, cool. So that gets me across the gap here. But now I just have to wait for day. That setup that I did involved a trick known as home buffering. You can use the home menu to buffer inputs. It's not that great in this game, but for that trick it makes it really good to do. It's day now, so now I go inside, and now we've got handling these guards. Okay, he didn't see me. That first guard can be such a troll. You want to be side hopping, because if you do good side hops, they won't see you at all.
Remember, folks, if you have any other questions for Wayfaring Fox, just feel free to pop them in the chat, and I will read them as we go.
Yeah, here we got talking to Zelda. There's not much to say here. I'm just going to be mashing, so go right ahead with if there's anything you want to talk about, Timber.
Sure. It's interesting because I'm not especially connected to the speedrunning community myself, but from what I'm seeing in the chat, a lot of people are commenting that there's a great deal of furry and LGBTQ intersection in the speedrunning community, which is unexpected, but very, very heartwarming, actually.
Oh, there's a lot. I've felt like there was, especially with speedrunning, I haven't really met any non-LGBTQ furries who speedrun. I'm actually honest.
Oh, I believe you. Like, I 100% believe you. It's just unexpected, but a pleasant surprise all the same. Shiriko asks, how much less glitchy is Ocarina of Time 3D than the N64 1.0 cart?
I don't think that's a fair comparison because both of them are very glitchy.
Yeah, I remember completely by accident when I was playing Ocarina of Time as a kid, I discovered a glitch on my own, just completely by accident in the water temple. So if a dummy like me as a kid could just find a glitch without even trying, then I imagine it's extremely exploitable.
So here I'm gonna do a setup so that I can die entering the Zelda's Lullaby cutscene here. Alright. So that skipped the cutscene, and now I have the song. So once I reload, I can just leave.
Perhaps the text says they used the excuse of keeping glitches in to, quote unquote, keep the experience authentic.
That's a bit of, that's not entirely true. some glitches were kept in, but some were patched out. A famous glitch in Ocarina of Time known as ISG was patched out, where you are able to swing your sword infinitely. You can still get it with another method, but it's nowhere near as useful as it is in the original Ocarina of Time. Like, that's just an example of the developers of this game patching stuff out. Okay. Some of these people talking are like good examples of just how fast the text can go if I do it exactly right.
You can't stop the glitches. You can only hope to contain them.
So we're up here in Death Mountain. We're gonna take a small detour to go into Dodongo's cavern right here. Because I have launches, I can just open up the place. So, in Master Quest, they actually put bombs in the main room as this big chest right near where I'm at. They tried to attempt to just try to get the big chest or something, but you can actually get it. It's entirely possible to get it, and it breaks the dungeon wide open. Yeah, it's that chest right there. That's where the bombs are. And I've got my trusty dicky sticks. And I can just recoil down. So that's all I came in here for right now. I wanted just to be able to keep having explosives.
B-Dragon28 asks, is ground jumping in this, or was that also patched out?
The ground jumping actually was like the original method of getting ground jumping was patched out. But there's another way to get it.
I assume we'll be seeing some of that later.
With ground jumping, I don't think there's any in this run.
Okay. Not one of the more useful exploits?
In Ocarina of Time, at least in when it comes to beating the dungeons, it's not useful.
Got it.
Because a lot of other things just beat it.
Shiriko asks, did they patch out duping items over other items?
Do you mean bottle duplication? Or are you talking about... Because I'm not sure what you mean with that. Anyway, we're climbing up here just to get magic. Oh gosh.
Yeah,
That would've...
Shiriko... Oh, sorry, Shiriko did say, yeah, bottle duplication.
Oh yeah. Bottle duplication still works. However, I will not be getting any bottles in this run. So here, we're just getting magic. Because it's pretty necessary. And well, it is necessary because it leads to the best item in the game.
The hook shot? That'd be my guess anyway.
The best item in the game is coming out soon.
Okay. It'll be a pleasant surprise then. Oh god, the great fairies. That brings back some childhood memories, some of which are traumatic.
I like their design, and I like the Great Fairies designs in this game. Like, they look a lot better.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm gonna save warp out of here. So right now, just going up to the Lost Woods. That's the next place. Because we want to go back into Zora's domain. That's a big fall down with getting bomb shoots from Jabu is that you have to make 2 trips because the most important item is in Zora's domain. I'm pretty sure you probably know what it is now.
Oh god, I'm searching my memory banks. And they don't work very well anytime, so... God, what the heck was in that dungeon?
So I did use that bomb shoe and targeted it there. There was an owl right there, and by targeting the bomb shoe, you don't talk to the owl. Here I'm doing another Navi dive. Okay. That jump slash is just a little faster than getting onto it normally, onto the ledge normally.
TK asks, do you have a favorite and or least favorite dungeon in this run?
My least favorite is actually I'd probably say Shadow Temple, because Shadow Temple's is what makes one of the hardest parts of this run.
And then a particular favorite, or one that's just makes the run particularly easy?
Favorite's probably Spirit Temple.
Ooh, that is a fun one.
Probably not for the reasons people are thinking, though.
Sure.
So yeah, we're gonna go right on past King Zora again. Gonna try a trick known as a Hess. I rolled late, but I won't go for it again. It moves you twice as fast as backwalking, and you're able to freely move around. It's in that shuffle animation that I talked about earlier. Anyway, here we are. This is the most important item. So we got another great fairy who's gonna give us it.
Oh. The anticipation is killing me.
Alright, the all-powerful in this game. Rory's Wind.
Oh. I completely forgot about all the magic spells.
Yeah. Yeah. Rory's Wind, for better or worse, makes it makes the runs in this game what they are.
What exactly does it do?
You set warp points
Oh.
in dungeons. So right now I'm actually gonna be re-entering Jabu just for a moment.
Yeah, Nilsson commented, "Poor Furor's wind. Everyone forgets about it. Apparently, except for speedrunners who worship the very ground that it exists upon."
I'm gonna cast Froze Wind in here.
I don't think I ever used that spell a single time.
Yeah, it's actually really useful in when you're casually playing if you just want to quick travel back somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're heading back into the Deku Tree to complete it.
Okay. Do a lot of the dungeons in this run kind of feature that same? You do a part of it first and then come back later and finish it off?
Just the child dungeons.
Okay.
Mostly because you want the items in the dungeons so that you can use them in everywhere else.
For sure. I see that we received another donation from Tillerin for 10 US dollars. Thank you very much, Tillerin. Mwah.
So the order for them is 3-1-2 in Master Quest, and because they're reversed, it looked kind of weird. I don't know. I think you're just supposed to figure it out. I don't actually tell you it. And I don't know why. So here we got Goma. There was one point where I did what is known as a broken Deku stick, which keeps a Deku stick in your hands after you break it. I'm gonna do that here, and then Goma's down. It makes the fight pretty straightforward. It's really easy to get that in this game, but right now, I'm gonna do a safety save because here we got our first blue warp, and I'm gonna be doing a trick with this blue warp. I missed it. I missed the trick, so I have to reset and try again. And peculiar thing is that I specifically need the hearts to be able to do this trick here, because otherwise I'll die afterward. After the trick is done, which just wastes a bit of time. Alright, let's try again. I missed the equip there. You can read a donation.
We don't have any more at the time.
Okay.
But just kind of a funny little coincidence. You mentioned earlier that you've been involved in speedrunning this game for 7 years. Which, as it turns out, that's as long as First for Life has been a thing. Been doing
really?
extra life charity work for 7 years. In that time, collectively, over $150,000 for Children's Miracle Network has been raised. If we hit our goals for this year, we will break $200,000 over those years. And we owe it all to the man in the chat, Mr. Wolfpup TK. Everybody give TK some love.
Okay, got it. So by returning Frozen at that point, I use the trick known as RI to activate on the blue orb. You can have 1 frame to do that. And what just happened was a wrong warp. But the wrong warp there doesn't matter too much. I just wanted to skip the cutscene. So, yeah, RI stands for restricted items. At least that's what we've always called it. It's just a one-frame window in this game where you can use an item that you're not supposed to be able to use.
Yes, that is true. TK being ever so humble. There are indeed so many people involved: staff, volunteers, runners, streamers, donors. Everybody's contributions count as far as we're concerned at First for Life. But still, give TK some love. In fact, we have over 41 speedrunners taking part in this year's event.
It's a really bad angle. So right now, we're just heading back to the market. There's nothing left to do as Child Link. So it's time. Rather, there's one thing left to do as Child. It's on the way to. But everything else, there's nothing else to do.
Is it time to put on our big boy pants and become Adult Link?
Yep, that's right.
Aw, yeah.
Oh, there is one detour. I have to go get another spell. Okay. So here's that trick again. Cast for his win here.
Of course, he suddenly grows trousers as an adult. He's got to glow up his wardrobe.
So right here is the other magic spell. This is Din's Fire. This spell is only needed for one thing, which is unfortunate, but it's faster to get it. One thing in this run. Thankfully, though, getting the spell refills the amount of magic that I currently got. And for this next bit, I'm going to need a lot of magic because there's a lot of stuff that's going to happen. Alright, so now, once we're done here, we're going to do something really interesting. It's probably going to confuse people who have never seen this before.
I can't wait.
So, we do need to cast for his one more time. Alright, so there's a grotto underneath this rock. Gonna do this, and then I'm gonna quit out of the game. It normally takes you to the title screen, but it just popped up in the Lakeside Lab.
Oh. What?
So we're gonna return this port point. It took us back to the mark at least.
What in the hecky?
Oh, let's go in here. But it took us to the Shadow Temple. So,
What?
oh gosh, I failed that, I think. Yeah, I thought that was going to happen. I failed that mega flip there, and then I took damage, and then I voided out, so that just killed me outright. Okay, good. So, I want to get the hover boots while I'm here. Okay. But to get them, I need a small key. So in order to go get a small key, I have to do this true spinner. This is actually random where it actually goes. It's one of these three right here that Oh, first try. That's neat. Okay. Oh, I failed that mega flip. Oh no. I am not doing this right today. I did this fine in practice.
It's all right. Kicking off a bit of the rust, and you'll be in fine form in no time. I believe in you.
I took. Okay.
Tweak asks after he makes a donation. Yes, in fact, Wolf Tweak, there is a donation to read. I think you might know something about it since you're the one who made the donation. Tweak says, Timber, give your best Link impression and another $25 will come. Donation to Runner's Choice of Incentives. Now, when you say Link imitation, do you mean Link from this game, or do you mean like the annoying cartoon Link that is infamous for having this super annoying voice?
I just walked into that guy on purpose because I'm not sure how many bombs I have. Okay. But down here is a small key. There are 2 keys you can get here, but I'll explain why in a moment. The other key, for some reason, it causes the switch to trigger in the room coming up. Okay, good. Alright. I didn't have to go back to the market to farm bombs, at least. So, in this room here, there's normally an eye switch that blocks your path and heading to this room right here. But if you grab the key that I grabbed, it doesn't actually spawn the eye switch. If you grab the other key, which is guarded by 2 Gibdos, it does spawn that eye switch does get turned on. Which is really bad if that happens because I'm in this state that's going on right here.
I remember this frickin' boss. One of the creepiest bosses to appear in any childhood game, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh yeah. But yeah, have to fight him. He guards hover boots, and They're really important for completing the run.
Also, just because Tweak asked,
Man, I am so bored. Excuse me, princess.
there, Tweak, I hope you're happy. If I just imitated Link from this game, it would just be me shouting a whole bunch, because that's all he does.
Alright, so now I'm gonna see if I can get a bomb because I'm low on bombs.
Oh, that's right. I got the line wrong. Whatever.
I didn't get any. Anyway, I'll just go in here and do some archery. Oh, it took me to this side. So let's go inside the Temple of Time.
Yeah.
Well, at least it took us in here, but where are we?
Yeah,
Oh, here we are.
I'm so confused with all these warps.
Alright, I'll explain it now. So the glitch state that I'm in is what we call death hole wrong warping. So by quitting the game when I died over that grotto, I was able to preserve the going into the grotto while the game was trying to reset, and it just so happens that it puts you in the state of the game where that's normally playing on the title screen, and that state allows you to continually perform what are known as wrong warps in this game. So it doesn't end ever unless if you force it out. And one of the ways you can force it out is by either saving and quitting, or by hitting a cutscene that allows you to move afterward. And it just so happens that the Temple of Time intro cutscene there, it ended it. And so now it's back to normal gameplay.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is a long cutscene.
Yeah. Tweak is a wolf of his word. He gave another $25 and said cartoon series Link worked. Thank you, Tweak. Also, Moonblaze Wolf donated $5. Gotta donate for that great Link impression. Timber, which video game character's voice acting is your favorite? Video games specifically, that's a tough one. I'll have to get back to you on that. Probably, if I had to cite one video game performance that I think is like the best acting I've ever heard in my life, it's oh geez. I'm blanking on his name right now because my brain is apparently deciding not to work today. Oh, of course, it's Dave Fennoy from the first Telltale Walking Dead series. I think is like the best acting I've ever heard in a video game, period.
Yeah, once this cutscene's over, I'm gonna check how many bombs I have because I feel like I have too low. So normally I specifically need 4 bombs here. If I have 4, I'll be fine, but if not, I'm to grab some.
But yeah, folks, for the most part, let's keep the questions on the related to the speed run, related to the game that's going on right now, and questions for Fox, if you would please. After all, he is the runner. I am but the host.
Here's a funny cutscene. You're normally supposed to see this before you become adult Link. Now that Sheik is there.
Oh yeah. Huh. And I assume there's no plausible way to skip these particular cutscenes.
Not currently in Ocarina of Time 3D. There's no way.
No.
There's a theoretical way in the original game to do it, but it's not humanly possible to skip those cutscenes. Because in the original game, they would require mashing 20 times a second. Good luck doing that. I have exactly enough. Okay, I'm going to cast Flora's Wind here, and I'm going to have to mash pretty hard so that... Oh gosh. Okay. Okay. If you don't mash out of that fast enough, you're dead.
Oh, yeah.
You have to mash pretty fast. So we're heading back to this grotto. And this is going to take us back to the market. It's the child market again. So, with this death home run warping, it always goes to the child market. So, we're going to go back this way. But now, we're here, and hi, Durnia.
I am so tickled by just how random all these warps appear to be.
It's due to how the entrance... The game has a table of entrances, and it just so happens all these places go from here. They just line up this way. It's just a coincidence.
Oh, okay.
Right, so here I'm gonna do this. Backflip into that bomb and then die into the loading zone. Now, we died inside here, which is actually the forest temple.
Right, we're an hour in. How do you feel your pace is going so far?
I'm a bit behind my previous run from last night, but my previous one was almost PB pace.
Oh, I see.
Okay. And then we're gonna do that again here. And die out here, so... Dying out here actually just skipped the menu at a forest cutscene, and now we have that.
Do folks in the chat have any other questions for Wayfaring Fox about running this game?
Oh yeah, if you have any, feel free.
Sure.
Oh, that was lucky. I want to refill my magic in here, and getting the large magic pot saves quite a bit of time. You don't have to defeat it a second redead. So now we're heading to Kakariko. I need... So we're doing right here, like this middle portion is like all just item collection. There's one item left before all the dungeons are gonna come. I'm gonna beat all the remaining dungeons in the game. And that's the hook shot. It's actually important. I cannot defeat a certain boss without it. So I have to go grab it right now.
Oh, yeah. Off the top of my head, I know what boss that is. But I'm not going to say it out loud. Let it be a surprise for the folks in the chat.
It's probably not the one people are thinking.
Oh, no kidding. Well, then I won't say it. It'll be a surprise to both myself and the stream.
Now, with what I have, I can't beat that specific boss without it. Anyway, here we got Dampe. Take your guesses, chat, on how fast I'm gonna go.
Are you glitching through this part, or are you doing it the regular way?
This is regular.
Okay. I'm trying to remember what the like what's the record? Do you know?
I was gonna say at the end, but I
Okay.
definitely can't get it after bonking and then getting hit by that flame. I don't know why I always get hit by flames in here.
Still doing it way faster than I ever did it. That's for dang sure.
Alright, took no damage, that's good.
Because you have to do it in, what, 3 minutes, I believe?
For the heart piece, you have to do it in under a minute.
Oh.
The fastest you can go, at least in Ocarina of Time 3D, is you can get a 43.
Oh.
That's not the same as in the original game, and that's due to how movement changed as Adult Link. Right, so here I'm going to avoid out, go back out. It's mostly to take damage. I'm also going to grab some more bombs in here. That bomb pot's going to respawn if I go back in. Because I'm just too low on bombs. Because Shadow just didn't go too well. Going through the shadows didn't go too well.
What's everyone's favorite elemental song? Well, mine isn't the elemental song. It's the Kakariko Forest. The doo 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 doo.
So I'm gonna walk out of Kakariko, then I'm gonna go right back in.
For what purpose?
Coming up right here is the hardest trick in the run.
Oh.
Rather
okay.
than one of the more nerve-wracking runs. That's a safety save, just in case I don't get it.
Got it.
Because we're going back to the Death Hole Wrong Warp stuff. Because I got it right here. Oh, I nearly didn't catch that. Gotta put hookshot on. Alright, I did a glitch right there to spawn with that grotto coordinates inside the market. And now my coordinates I can keep the coordinates from entering Kakariko. So now I'm gonna go through here and then I'm gonna try to enter Shadow with those coordinates. Let's try that again. I couldn't backflip. Alright. Alright, got it. That movement right there is hard. And so now I entered the Shadow boss room, but going in there and the Death Hole Wrong Warp scenario takes you here to the Water Temple boss room. And so now we're fighting Morpha.
Oh, so you just skipped the entire temple?
Yeah, skip the entire Water Temple.
Well, thank God for that.
It also skips right to the end of Shadow because I can cast Frozen in here.
Oh, I see.
Morpho gave me bad luck right there.
Shut up, Tweak.
Unfortunately,
Water temple.
no, we won't see the actual water temple.
Good. Everyone hates that temple.
Come on. I'm just gonna wait.
So Morpho was indeed the boss you were referring to earlier that you need the hook shot to beat, yes?
Nope.
Oh.
It's possible to beat Morpho without the hook shot.
Oh.
Oh no. Don't you dare. Alright, there we go. Yeah, they reworked Water Temple and Master Quest, by the way. Like, you get the long shot super early in Master Quest.
Oh.
Of course, in this run, you don't see it.
So, as a speedrunner, do you ever like to just go back and just kind of, play the game casually as it's meant to be played? Or whenever you boot it up, are you always just looking to speedrun the heck out of it?
But this game, I'm not sure about. I just walked into it. I'm faking. That was a joke. It's entirely fine to walk into this blue warp because this cutscene can't start. Just warp back. So that's the water temple down. So here I'm just gonna do a save, quit out, so that here, and now I'm out of death hold. There's gonna be no more death hold in the run. That was the final one.
Mm-hmm.
So now the mini out of force, which I got a ways back, I'm playing it now. Now we're gonna beat the force.
So, pardon me for being unfamiliar, but have you participated in any speedrunning events like the Games Done Quick events?
Yeah, back in AGDQ 2017, I actually was on the couch for the Ocarina of Time 3D run then.
Oh, nice. And are there people who speedrun multiple games, or does everybody kind of have their specialty game?
It varies. It's all what you want to play.
Okay. And do you have any others in your skill set, or is this one kind of your baby?
My baby actually was more Majora's Mask 3D recently. I was playing that more, but then I came to this. I'm personally looking to branch out and play other games as well.
Oh yeah, like what kind of stuff?
Probably Breath of the Wild.
Ah.
It's one of the games I'm interested in trying out. So right here, you can use this hook shot. Oh, I messed it up. You can get right there on the banister, and then if you grab the ledge, you clip in, and then you can just go right to the boss. And so here's a forest boss, which is a Phantom Ganon. And Phantom Ganon's the reason why the hook shot is required. I cannot defeat him with anything else.
Okay.
Because You only can use either the hook shot, the slingshot, or bow to hit him out of the paintings.
Oh, okay. And obviously, in the normal run, by this point, you have the bow.
I feel like talking about a glitchless run, they probably just become adult now. So you gotta hit him 3 times out of the paintings. And then after that, there's a strat that I'm gonna go for. It's hard, so I'm probably just gonna focus while I do it.
Sure thing. I will watch and learn.
Alright, got it. So I was able to keep him completely stunned, but by hitting him with the hookshot, he tries to deflect it off, and then he's vulnerable to an attack afterward. So
Nice.
by doing that, you can effectively just keep him stuck there. It's just hard with the hookshot.
That was smooth. Very nicely done.
And so we've got another blue orb. So again, I'm gonna safety save for all the required ones. It's this one. It's faster to just try again if you miss it.
I'm going to very quickly be right back.
Okay. I'm not doing so hot with the blue orbs today. That's unfortunate. So I have to go back there and try again. I missed it again. Wow, I'm really not... You know what, I'm probably just gonna... Because this is the... That's the 4th one I've missed. I'll just count how many I've missed and then make a donation out of that. 'Cause that's 4. That's the 4th time I've missed one. Okay.
All right.
Alright, so I got that cutscene skip now. So here's Bongo, everybody, because that Flora's win point was in Bongo's room.
Oh.
Alright, this fight's actually very dangerous, so I'm gonna focus during it.
You got it.
Alright. So normally what I do is I go for cutscene skip here, but in all of my practice, but yeah, I'll just explain what I did there. If you just quick spin with the right timing, you can just flat out stun lock Bongo right there. But what I'll do here is I'm just not going to do this cutscene skip because I never got it in practice. This cutscene skip was giving way too much trouble. Just setting it up and then doing it, and I'm just going to walk into this warp. This is the shortest cutscene of them all in this run, so it's... And the amount of setup that you actually spend to do it doesn't have much payout.
Okay. So you mentioned you've been doing speedrunning now for quite some time. Would you say there was a particular moment that stands out as like your proudest moment as a speedrunner so far?
I guess one of the ones is finding a glitch in this game known as back in time. That glitch is quite unlike anything I've like in the game. It requires you having the Prelude of Light, and when you have the Prelude of Light, you can use the boss. You can play the side game where you refight the bosses, and it's going to take a bit to explain it. If you set a Flora's win point after exiting that, if you return to that warp point, it resets the game. And so, if you reset the game using one of the blue warps at the exact right time after beating any of them, you'll reset the game and then actually stop the title screen cutscene from playing. And in doing so, you get access to a dummy file in the game that has 15 hearts and basically all the items.
Ooh. And you were the person who discovered that glitch?
I was the person who discovered that glitch.
Awesome. Imagine it's very rewarding to kind of feel like you wrote the speedrunning manual for a particular game, in a sense.
Somewhat. Somewhat, I'd say. So here I'm doing cast for his win right there. And we're now gonna go complete Dodongo's Cavern.
As an adult.
Forgot to before coming in here. If you do that hookshot just right, you land on top of there, which saves quite a bit of time than just doing two hookshotting two of those posts to get up there. So there's a trick that I could do that would skip going inside the head area up to Darno's Cavern, but it doesn't save too much time, and for a marathon, it's not worth it because of that. So just gonna, but because we're Adult Link, the head area goes pretty fast because you can climb up to that very top. In Master Quest, there's this gravestone up there, and by pulling this gravestone, you reveal the switch that opens the door to the boss. So here we got King Dodongo. He's definitely the easiest boss out of all of them, including Goma. At least in the speedrun setting, because it's just, at least as an adult you can do this. Just eats a bomb right out of your hand. There's not much else to say, just do this twice and then you win.
If there is any rightful criticism of this game in particular, the normal run, once you know how to beat the bosses, they're all kind of pretty easy. Like, when I was a kid and playing this game, I used the, the official guide or whatever, which kind of, in retrospect, sort of took the fun out of the bosses, because the idea is you're supposed to figure out how to beat them yourself, and just have it spoon-fed to you by a guide, and then once you know how to beat the bosses, they're all so easy.
Yeah, that's... I made that mistake when I was a kid with a lot of games, too.
I mean, like, in other games, even once you know how to beat the boss, there's still quite a bit of finesse involved, but not in this game.
So... Oh, got it. Cool. This is another wrong warp. So, by doing this one, go up to the top of Desert Colossus.
Oh.
Just so happens that Lost Woods and Desert Colossus are right next to each other, and this cutscene here, this is the cutscene where Naboo right here gets kidnapped. And it manages to play this cutscene, which is very, very useful. I see people saying about the mini bosses being harder than the regular bosses. I agree, especially in Master Quest. The most dangerous enemy in Master Quest is actually Stalfo. Because the I need to focus on this trick. Alright, that movement gets you all the way up here, and you can grab the Mirror Shield chest. Anyway, but yeah, Stalfos and Master Quest are probably the most dangerous enemy. They don't do the most damage. Their jump attacks do 4 hearts, which is very dangerous.
Yeah.
And their damage can rack up pretty fast.
And difficult hitboxes as well, apparently.
So here I'm gonna do a Mega Flip, and then a Clip Hover Boots that kicks you right through that water jet, and I grabbed a chest containing bomb shoes right there. I'm gonna need it's going to be useful for something coming up later. That said, right there gets you right through that gate, and now we're in the main. We have access to this main room here. So here's this torch, this trick right here. I haven't done this trick yet. This is. I'll explain it once I'm done here.
Sure.
But this. So that glitch was a hookshot jump. Both of them were. They allow you to have fast vertical speed. And if you have fast vertical speed, hitting a slanted ceiling, you'll just go right through it. And so by doing that, in both areas, you can go right straight to the boss fight. So here we are.
Oh, nice.
Then Master Quest Spirit Temple, that literally skipped the entire temple. There's nothing done in here. all of those tricks just skip the entire temple. Because this dungeon has 7 small keys, and yeah.
And you didn't need a single one.
Yep.
All right, we got about 20 minutes to hit the goal. You think you can make it?
As long as Fire Temple goes well, I'll make it.
Nice.
Because Fire Temple's the last dungeon in the run.
Is that just because of the configuration of the warp points, or?
Yeah. It has to do with the fact that of this warp in particular. Now that I think about it, because that one specifically, you need to either be the Deku Tree or Dodongo's Cavern. Long warping in general is actually a very complicated glitch, so I could possibly give more info on ZSR's site, which is zeldaspeedruns.com. Under the Ocarina of Time tab, they have a lot of info there on wrong warping. Wrong warping is mostly the same between the two games, except for something involving cutscenes, and I don't think I'll have near enough time to explain it.
Okay, fair enough.
Alright, but here we got the Twin Robo fight. Their attack patterns are completely random in this phase of the fight. So I just hope they give me good patterns.
Fingers crossed.
It's firing. It's firing. That's right. At least they've been moving into it. Sometimes they don't. But if they don't do it, I have a backup trick to do. I can do to swing at them. Oh, that was a little too early. Oh, that was my bad. The target was gonna fire right there, but I used the hookshot too early, and she tried to deflect it. But if you use the hookshot, They try to deflect it, but it keeps them in place. Right, so now that you do 4 heads, they go into the second phase. This part of the fight, in the original game you can one-cycle her, but not in this. At least with the Master Sword. So I'm gonna be doing a technique just so that it's not any trouble with her. So you want to do 3 jump slashers once she's vulnerable here, and then just hold off. If she's low health, she'll actually start changing up her attacks from just doing 3 at once. And so if you do more than half health, it's really bad. I was nearly too far back right there. So that's Sunrova.
Nice.
The Spirit Temple cutscene skip I'll actually go for. If I don't get it, I don't. They'll just have to sit through the cutscene.
Okay. I see folks in the chat are talking about how different languages, different translations of the game are actually faster than others.
Yeah, so because of the fact that the text boxes are generally scroll instantly in this game, it doesn't matter what language you use, generally. So I'm just using English out of preference here.
Sure.
Oh, I missed. Oh, why am I doing that? One of my issues is that sometimes I don't get the pause, and that's honestly the worst way to fail it. So you don't even get to attempt just because you missed pausing at the right time.
So which dungeons are left at this point? It's the Fire Temple and...
It's just the Fire Temple.
Okay.
So we just have to beat the Fire Temple and then beat the game.
Alright. I'm feeling good about it. I think you got your mojo on now. I think you can make it.
Thanks. I want to skip this cutscene because this small cutscene shows up after you've beaten both Shadow and Spirit. It just tells you can go now, and then you can now go see Zelda, and she'll give you the light arrows.
So here's just kind of a general question. What do you like the most about the speedrunning community, just in general?
Most people are chill and accepting in the community. I generally don't have like a lot of things between like actual communities themselves are very isolated. But generally speaking, I don't have any like bad things to say about most people. So here I'm casting Floyd's Wind out here, and then it's gonna re-enter Goron City. So here I'm wanting to... Alright, good. I want to knock this guy over with a bomb, so... Also, this text is probably the best example of how much better the text is in this game. So I actually need the Goron Tunic for beating Fire Temple. We'll see why in just a short moment.
Okay.
So I forgot to equip it. So normally you want to push this block, but you can just hookshot something on the floor and then you can go right past it. So also here, right down that walkway over there is the Bolero fire cutscene, and by going over the mountain here, you can just go right around it. I don't need it for anything.
It's so funny to watch you just walk right by a heart piece, but of course the name of the game is quickness here.
Oh yeah, yeah. I always don't think about that heart piece when I walk right past it.
Yeah.
So here's a pretty tricky trick. So I'm gonna focus.
Sure.
All right. It's not over yet. I have to get across this gap here. So I'm gonna buffer to a specific frame on the bomb. I think I started buffering too early. Okay. Alright, cool. Got around it. Now this takes us to this room with this flare dancer. I need to take a bit of damage. The floor master, wait, the flare dancer explosion does damage to you, so doing that, taking damage from that is really good, because I'm just gonna do a death warp here.
Okay.
Alright, so we have these torches here. This is the one use of Din's Fire that's required. I have to get into the room before the boss here, and you need Din's Fire to get in this room. Or some sort of fire source.
Oh.
But here's another torch. You probably know what's going to happen. Seeing what happened in Spirit Temple. Alright, now we're at the boss. So the log here is also dangerous. Any attack that hits me will kill me. So I don't want to get hit.
And then after this boss, the run is over? That's it?
we've got the blue warp at the end, so once the boss is defeated, I've still gotta do the trick on the blue warp. Oh no, not again. Don't do this to me. So I got trolled right there. That was really bad luck. Alright, but at least I got through it. That happened yesterday too. I'm actually upset.
What was so unlucky about that?
You don't want Volvagia to pop up in that specific hole because Volvagia has two sprites, like two actors, and one of them's underneath that first hole.
Oh, I see.
So now we got the final blue orb here. Alright, get ready on time.
All right.
Time.
52. 1:44:52.
Oh, okay, cool.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. This is
Heck
the
yeah.
credits.
It was technically 1:44:52.
Yeah, okay. Well, my splits gave 1:45:02 because I had my splits gone.
Oh, I see. All right, folks, there it was. The goal was 1:50, and we got it. Fox got it by about 5 minutes. So congratulations, Fox. You did it, buddy.
So, yeah, thank you. I'll explain. So, again, this is another wrong warp. The credits in Death Mountain Trail match the value of the cutscene set by beating Fire Temple, and so by doing a wrong warp to Death Mountain Trail, you beat the game. Because once you trigger the credits, they play all the way through.
Oh, I see. And that's the reason why Fire Temple has to be last.
Yeah, that's one of the main reasons. You could also do Goron City to using Deku Tree or DC as well. It's entirely reasonable. It just so happens that Fire Temple lasts best. But yeah, that's it, everybody. Does anybody have any last things to say?
Yeah. Any last
hope
questions for Fox? Any really quick little questions, folks, in the chat? Or if not questions, just give Fox a round of applause, because again, crushed the record by an easy 5 minutes. Right, well, if that is it, we are going to be moving on with the stream. Please do stick around. There's still so many games coming up that are going to be speedrun later today. Next up is going to be Super Mario Galaxy. Then after that, Wonder Boy, The Dragon's Trap, Hollow Knight. And then even beyond that, there's still so much more to go, folks. So thank you all so much for tuning in. That is all for Zelda. Bye-bye now.